Why, hello everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV on PlayFrame. We've been having our fun last week, going and fighting a bunch of old primals up in the sky, but there is still a somewhat large dragon-shaped problem down here on the ground. Besides, we gotta help Estinian, and if we don't help Estinian, then that's gonna make Alphino sad, and none of us want that, because he's such a sweetheart now. It got cloudy all of a sudden, while the intro happened. Just to explain the clouds, I guess. Anyway, the House Fortom Knight has a message for you. Ah, Master Durrami, it's well that you're here. You are wanted within. I believe Master Alphino wishes a word with you. And why wouldn't he? Wait, do I need to talk to you to go in? I don't. You're the one who controls doors. Welcome, Master Durrami. Shall I show you inside the manor? Yes, please. Ah, look at both of you. I've missed you. The Scions will find a way. I just know we will. Ah, Derman, there you are. Have you a moment? There's something I would fain discuss. I must ask you to recall the events which unfolded at the peace conference, though I dare say you would sooner forget them. My mind returns again and again to the moment when Nidhogg appeared before the crowd in the guise of Estinian. It was a sight to chill the soul, but one which gave me reason to hope that our friend might not be beyond salvation. When you described his fateful transformation at Azizla, I feared him lost forever, but the mere fact that some semblance of his former self endures must surely count for something. Alas, I have no evidence to support this impression. Thus did I turn to Y'shtola and Kryl for a more empirical appraisal, and full glad am I that I did, for it would seem they have some observations of their own to share. The ladies have saved us a table at the Forgotten Knight. Shall we go? Oh, I'd love to get a lunch with those two. Excellent. Let's not keep our honored colleagues waiting. This should be fun. Y'shtola, Kryl, did you order yet? Did you order something for me? Still here. It's been months. Gian Kimura, you will be remembered. I guess you've been immortalized in YouTube video form now for your dedication. Doing whatever the Dark Knight equivalent of the Lord's work is. Here we go. Y'shtola. The name does this establishment a disservice. Remarkably few of its patrons seem inclined to drink their way to oblivion. I do begin to see why Tataru chose to work here.
We have kept you waiting over long, I fear.
Not to worry, Alphino. We had some rather fine mulled wine to keep us company. Truth be told, you could have delayed your arrival a few moments more.
And here I feel like I've already missed the best part of this potential scene.
Jibrion got the spicing just right this time. His latest batch is not only delicious and warming, but soothing to the humors.
Indeed. But 'twas not to soothe our humours that we gathered here.
Ah, no, quite right. The matter of that poor dragoon.
You have discovered something. A means to save him?
Let us not jump to conclusions, shall we? Assess the facts presented, then make an educated analysis, as you were taught.
Pray, cast your mind back to the moment of Estinian's transformation. Do you recall how you described it to us? You spoke of the sudden pangs which racked his body when he took up both of Nidhogg's eyes, and of how his form was twisted thereafter into a shadowy semblance of the great Wyrm.
When he appeared at Falcon's Nest, the Wyrm's eyes were fused to his mail.
Would that only his armor had been corrupted. Snaking forth from the eyes, I descried dark tendrils which entangled his very being. His ether has been all but smothered.
Then he is lost to us forever?
What did I just say about jumping to conclusions? Y'shtola clearly stated all but smothered.
I'm really enjoying this tutor vibe that Kryl is bringing to our group.
As I later discovered, her impression matched my own. Though Nidhogg's presence filled my mind's eye, beneath his seething aura, I sensed the merest hint of something else. And after listening to Y'shtola's observations, I became more certain of my suspicion that the something else I'd sensed was, in fact, the trace of a different will, submerged in the sea of Nidhogg's rage.
You mean?
Yes, 'tis like that Estinian spirit yet lingers.
Can we not wrest him from Nidhogg's grasp, then? Tear the eyes from the armor?
We know not if that would serve to separate Wyrm's soul from man's. None have ever attempted such a feat.
Should it offer even the faintest hope of success, then by the gods, I shall be the first to try.
Alphino. By all means, hold fast to your hope, but be mindful of the dangers. Even should you succeed in excising the eyes from the Dragoon's mail, we have no way of knowing if your friend's soul would survive so violent a separation. And that is to say nothing of the possibility that his would-be savior might become Nidhogg's next host.
But what other choice remains to us? Should the opportunity present itself, I will tear those foul orbs from Estinian's armor and trust in the resilience of his soul, even at the risk of mine own.
Ah! I found you at last!
Hey!
A messenger of the Temple Knights came to the manor some few hours past. The Lord Commander humbly requests the company of the Warrior of Light and Master Alphino.
Sir Emmerich would speak with us. Very well, thank you, Onawa.
'Twould seem duty calls. Pray see to yours, and we shall return to ours.
Thank you, Y'shtola, Kryl. Your words have given me hope where there was none. Come then, Sir Emmerich awaits.
Alphino is allowing his feelings for this Dragoon to cloud his thoughts. I worry he may do something rash. Keep an eye on him, would you?
I always do. Midi, we're leaving.
They think more of their friends' deliverance than their foes' defeat. But will history commend their fealty or condemn their folly?
The conference held at Falcon's Nest was to be a celebration of the reconciliation twixt man and dragon. But the lingering shade of Nidhogg, clad in the flesh of the Azure Dragoon, did mark the occasion by spilling the blood of his own kind. A timely atrocity to remind the children of Ishgard that the Dragonsong War was far from over. And when fear gave way to fury, the call to arms rang out anew. Death to Nidhogg! Death to Nidhogg!
So, where's my next stop? Ah! Congregation of our Knights Most Heavenly. A name in dire need of a bridging, but at least the walk there is short. What news has Sir Emmerich to share with us, I wonder? Let's find out. What are you giving me? attire of various things that aren't anything I do, but still appreciate it. I'll take, I don't know. Sure. Sweet of you to think of me, and my fashion needs. Alphino is eager to hear what tidings Sir Emmerich has to share. Might Sir Emmerich perchance have received a word of a Dravanian advance? Or mayhap they've located that is to say, mayhap Nidhogg has been found. Come, I would hear what the Lord Commander has to say. We're going.
My friends, I thank you for coming.
You have had news of Nidhogg?
Alas not. Our scouts range far and wide, but they have as yet found no trace of the Great Wyrm.
We dispatched an elite unit of dragoons to reconnoiter the churning mists, but even they returned empty-handed.
A pity.
Fear not, Alphino. We shall see the Wyrm again soon enough. His words at Falcon's Nest attest to that. Indeed, he is like to come sooner than we would wish.
I assume Ishgard's defenses are being bolstered as we speak?
With all haste. I mean to call upon every able-bodied warrior at our disposal, from the Knights of the Four Houses to the men and women of the Watch. But I did not summon you to discuss strategy.
What then would you have of us, my lord?
I will speak plain. Now that Nidhogg is possessed of both of his eyes, no mortal force we can muster will repel him. That being the case, we must needs recruit an ally of equal strength.
You speak of Hraesvelgr?
I do. To whom else could we turn?
That he is Nidhogg's equal, I do not deny, nor can I name another. But convincing the reclusive creature to do battle with his own brood brother will be... how shall I put this?
It will be no small undertaking, yes. Estinian's report was most particular about Hraesvelgr's unwillingness to involve himself in the affairs of men. But much has changed since your visit to Somal. And if there is even a chance that the dragon may be swayed, I must plead our case. Whatever price the dragon asks of me, I shall pay it. Such was my oath, to defend the people of Ishgard. Come what may, my friends, the battle with Nidhogg will mark the end of my tenure as the acting head of church and state. Will you help me discharge this final duty?
We will, my lord, though I fear our involvement offers no guarantee of success. Come then, we will depart at your leisure.
Thank you. Both of you. The city is yours, First Commander.
My lord, we shall pray for your swift return.
Man, this game's primary and secondary, character roster is still but a fraction of what it's eventually going to be, and yet we're already kind of spoiled for choice when it comes to favorite characters. There's a lot of real good ones. 2 of them right here. I somehow doubt that Hraesvelgr will be pleased to see us, but for Estinian's sake, and that of countless others, I suppose we must risk his displeasure. It grieves me to impose upon you in this manner, but you of all people understand the threat we now face. It is no imposition, Sir Emmerich. To Dermot and I, Ishgard is as a second home. After the many battles we've fought and the bonds we've forged, the plight of your nation's become our own. Hang on, I can get it. The plight of your nation has become our own. If there is aught that we can do to aid in its salvation, then pray, impose all you must. What he said, but with less stumbling over words. You are true friends. Shall we be about our task, then? We have no way of knowing when Nidhogg's shade will strike, but we must assume that time's not our ally. Indeed. With that in mind, I've taken the liberty of dispatching a messenger to inform Mistress Tataru that you'll be escorting me to Somal. I confess I did not provide the exact details of our destination, as they are yet unknown to me. We will summon Hraesvelgr at Zenith in the Churning Mists. Ere we begin our ascent, however, I think it best that we pay a visit to Annick's Shrine. You seek an advantage in the coming negotiations? I do. I would consult with Vidofnir. I propose this in part out of concern for her condition. Were she to succumb to her wounds, it could have grave consequences for our alliance. That apart, she may be able to provide insight into her sire's current state of mind. Well reasoned. To the Dravanian Forelands, then. It's a plan. Oh, we've made this trip with so many batches of characters. They spoil us. All right, to Annick's Shrine. Vidofnir, looking good and alive, which is good. Ah, 'tis the warrior of warriors and his companions. What bringeth you to mine abode? Pray forgive us for disturbing your recuperation, Vidofnir. I hope your wound does not pain you overmuch. Didst thou imagine me close to death? The thrust was deep, but not mortal. I will heal in time. Full glad am I to hear it. You were the guest of honor at our conference, and we failed in our duty of protection. On behalf of Ishgard, I apologize unreservedly. I am a dragon full grown, and thou thought to protect me, mortal. I was tempered by the fires of battle ere thy great-grandsire learned to crawl. Thy words do remind me of a knight whom I called friend some 1,000 years past. He swore to defend me from harm and hardship. Would that we could return to that era of peace, when man and dragon knew such comradeship. Would that our every effort to do so were not undone by ancient rancor. For a truth, there can be no peace while Nidhogg's shade yet lingereth. That much is plain, yet we lack the strength to banish him. Thus do we make for Somal, to beseech the aid of your sire once more. Folly. Thou knowest as well as I how he will answer. Hraesvelgr's heart remains unchanged then. A pity. But if it is folly to hope, I am content to die a fool. As hath ever been the way of thy kind. Go then, but be warned, the Shade's presence hath driven its minions to frenzy. Thank you, Vidofnir. We shall disturb your rest no longer. Well, what sort of food do you take from a dragon who is offering it? Spiced cider seems pretty fun. Yeah, come on. Strudel also good, but come on. Cider from a dragon? How often do you get that offer? Well, Lucia's report described Annick's Shrine in detail, but her words failed to convey the overwhelming strangeness of standing here in the domain of dragons. Alphino seems eager to press on. As do I. Though I expected no better answer from Vidofnir, I take little pleasure from having been proven right. 'Twould seem that our presence at Zenith will be every bit as unwelcome as I had anticipated. But what is the ire of one great Wyrm to a trio of self-confessed fools such as ourselves? Let us begin our ascent. After you, Master Alphino. Scout ahead if you wish, Derman. We shall join you outside Mogholm. Ah, Mogholm, I'd love to go there. I know we can't stay, but... Come on, Mogholm. Honestly, let's just get ourselves right there, huh? Time is of the essence. The Lord Commander seems lost for words. Nor can I blame him. I recall being similarly awestruck when I first beheld this vista. It is quite lovely. See how nice the game can look when the sun's out? I had heard tales of the world above the clouds, but never did I dream. One's mind paints a pale picture of its majesty. Few live to see such wonders. I'm reminded of my first visit to this peak, when Estinian and Isel yet walked at our side. Oh hey, and the sun's gone. Well, hope you enjoyed it.
Kupapa? Is that you, Derman?
Ah, if it isn't Don't
tell me you've forgotten my name, Kupo. After all we've been through together. But at least you remember me. You do remember me, don't you, Derman?
Oh dear. Moglin, Moghan. I want to say Moghan. Let's try guessing. Moghan? Yes?
Phew! You seemed a bit hesitant for a moment there, but I'm sure you were just fondly recalling the time we camped near Zenith, right, Kupo?
Yes.
But putting aside our shared history, what brings you and your friends to Mogholm, Kupo? Ah, another audience with old Tracefelger. Well, I hope you've brought the horn, Kupo. With the winds as gentle as they are, a good loud toot should reach the Great Wyrm's ears easily enough.
That is good to hear, Moghan. Thank you. We had best press on to Zenith while the winds are in our favor. Good to see you.
Now that was unexpected, Kupo. Chieftain Moglin will want to hear about this.
I was pretty sure Moglin was the chieftain's name, which is why I'd gone with Moghan, but I didn't remember exactly. They do have somewhat similar names. What? What's going on? What? What's going on? Why are you... No. What? Thank you for the... Thank you. Thank you. Who are you? I choose to assume you're a fan of the series. You're not even a member of the Dantalis Company. And I don't have chat open right now. But good to see you. And thank you very much. That was very cute. Like, really. That's either a case of someone seeing Derman who watches the series and knows of Derman's penchant for snacks, or it's a person just randomly traveling around and giving strangers, like, sweets and food and snacks and such on their own, which is pretty great. Either outcome is pretty adorable. But okay, I'm here. I've arrived. We must win Hraesvelgr to our cause. Fail in this, and Ishgard's fate is all but sealed. Pray sound the horn, Derman. I'm on it. You dare summon me again, mortals.
Great Hraesvelgr, 'tis not lightly that we beg this audience. Pray hearken to our words, for they concern the future of man and dragon both.
Greetings, Hraesvelgr. I am Emeric de Burrell, acting ruler of the nation of Ishgard. I am come before you to parley on behalf of my people.
To parley? Thinkest thou thy purpose unclear to me? Thou art come to beg mine aid in the battle against the shade of my brood brother.
Foresaw mine intent.
I but read that which is writ plain in thine eyes. Would that thou had wit enough to scry the answer in mine. My beloved Shiva did once build a bridge twixt man and dragon, a bridge which thy treacherous forefathers saw fit to tear down, as thou well knowest. Thinkest thou Nidhogg was alone in despairing at the murder of our brood sister? Thinkest thou mine own soul did not cry out for vengeance? Know then that upon that cursed day my heart did wither in my breast, and thy kind became unto me the harbingers of despair. 'Tis only Shiva's gentle dream that preventeth me from flying at Nidhogg's shoulder. Be grateful that I swore to abjure aggression ere I consumed her. I permit my children to offer or deny thee aid as they see fit, to warn thy people of my brood brother's coming. That thou wouldst dare ask more of me but affirmeth thine incurable arrogance.
We understand that in your despair at man's betrayal, you seek only the refuge of solitude. But despite your protestations of spent faith, do you not still nurture the smallest flame of hope?
Perceivest thou such light in the dusk of mine existence?
I do. If you claim I see falsely, then tell me, why did you consent to bear Rizel upon your back?
Isel. Piteous, deluded Isel. The child did lament her past sins, and sought to balance the scales with her remaining days. 'Twas her unquenchable passion, so alike that of my beloved, which did spur me into flight. And for mine own part, I would countenance no longer the hands of evil men to use my brood brother's eye for ill.
So you do distinguish between those who acknowledge and repent their sins and those who perpetuate them. Interesting. It seems to me that you have not, in fact, lost faith in mankind as a whole. Rather, you weigh our respective merits by how we allow the past to influence our future.
Spare me thine idle sophistry. Even were there a mote of truth in thy reasoning, what of it? Wouldst thou have me slay mine own sibling to save a city of mortals?
Should we suffer ties of blood to bind our hands, then? Nay, if the crime is one of unconscionable evil, we must needs condemn it, even should the transgressor be our closest kin. When my father corrupted himself and his followers with the power of a primal, I beseeched the warrior of light to slay him, an act alike to patricide. That he did not die by my hand matters little. If anything, it heaps greater disgrace upon my name. But had my father not fallen, he would have drawn countless thousands into a holy war of hellish proportions, which I hold the greater crime. Thus did I order his execution, sparing the lives of my people and yours. Alas, your brother Wyrm now prepares to murder those whom I sought to spare. What is more, he has taken my comrade's body for his own. But if I must slay my dearest friend to defeat my direst foe, I will not flinch from my duty.
Thou wouldst strike down thy friend, and, by example of thy righteousness, persuade me to break mine oath and kill my kindred. Heed me, my child. The servants of Hydaelyn envision a different outcome. They intend salvation not only for Ishgard, but for the doomed Dragon Slayer as well. Believest thou this shade to be Nidhogg returned? Is it not merely a manifestation of his vengeance, the shadow cast by thy brood brother's rage? I would not command thee, but ponder well thy course, lest it lead thee into greater remorse. This one does seem a little bit better spoken. Both earnest, but while this shade of vengeance remains, the future will ever be uncertain. Nidhogg's transformation into rage incarnate is, in part, of mine own doing. I rendered unto him mine eye, and empowered his revenge thereby. But 'tis the purity of my brood brother's wrath that lendeth him his all-surpassing might. Hast thou the strength of will to stand against so terrible a shadow, I wonder? 'Twouldst seem I must put thee and thy companions to the proof. I shall await thee in the ruins wherein Ratatoskr once dwelled. Heed well the words of my children, and hasten thee to the place of thy trial. Well, that's progress. All right, then. Guys? Oh, there you are. Sorry, crowded out here. Another day, another trial. Such ordeals must seem almost mundane to you by now. Would that I could say the same. Yeah, I guess this isn't just me going into this, huh? I believe I spied a wyvern landing just outside the palace. Or a wyvern, never was certain about that. It is doubtless one of the children of whom Hraesvelgr spoke. Come, my friends, let us not keep our escort waiting. Yeah, why not? Let's go ahead and do it today. Where is this wyvern? There you are. So imperious. Same stuff. All right. My broodmates and I will bear you to the place of your trial. Make your preparations. Oh, it's a dungeon. And a pretty cool one, if I remember correctly. All right, then. Let me get some folks. And there we go. Got ourselves a few friends. who's joining us today. Our tank today will be Pakin, our healer will be Tampopo, and Rezak will be helping me with the damage. And this is a pretty one I'm excited to run through here again. It's been a little bit. Sohr Khai. Majestic and forgotten, its existence unrecorded in the annals of man, a palace rests atop the clouds in the farthest reaches of the churning mists. This skyborn splendor was once home to Ratatoskr, brood sister to Hraesvelgr and Nidhogg, until the treachery of mortals ensured that its stones would never again ring under the she-worm's talons. The dragons named it Sohr Khai, a grieving apology for their failure to avert her fate, and they watched with infinite sadness as Ratatoskr's empty roost was overrun by bird and beast. This is the place Hraesvelgr has chosen for your trial. Prove yourself in the faded shadow of one sibling, and convince the Great Wyrm to aid against the wrathful shade of the other. It's gonna be good. Let's go! You know, I gotta say, the soundtrack to every expansion in this game is stellar. I adore music from all of it. I wonder if Heavensward might be one of the most just consistent ones, like in style, in vibe, its quality. It's just so good across the board. I completely also agree with anyone who disagrees with me on that one, because every other expansion is just loaded with great stuff. So I'll probably say similar things about all of them as I get to each one and remember how many great tracks each one has. Still, let's fight some blocks. Blocks and bugs and weird floating fans. Hey, fun thing about these fans, once you knock them down, then you can run over them and whee! Not for any reason, you know, just for fun. And now I think we're coming up on boss number 1. Didn't research any of these in advance, but we'll be fine. Chieftain Moglin!
This is as far as you go, Dermin. You and your ridiculous name won't make it past me, Kupo.
Delightful. And joined by some of the Mogglesguard, even. Now, if I recall correctly, Chieftain Moglin's going to try to revive this lot now and then, and we can try to prevent that by knocking them out of these little revival circles. Get out of there. So that he misses. Perfect.
I am not chieftain because I'm the biggest. I am chieftain because I'm the baddest, Kupo.
Ah, more of them. Almost gotcha. There we go.
Kupo, that's enough. You've made your point. This isn't a fight to the death, Kupo.
Thanks for participating in our trial. Gorgeous. Loving your shield, by the way, Pakin. A fine thematic choice. Ah! Big bird. 2 big birds. Accompanied by smaller birds. The art is just getting out of control. And I think it's boss time. Boss number 2. Pokeraj? Pokeraj. I'm gonna go with that. So this one I recall having some kind of fun mechanics here. We're in a pretty narrow lane of an arena, you notice. And that's going to become a new kind of hazard in a short bit here. Let's see. Oh, okay, so that's a proximity marker. Want to be as far away from that as we can be. Now this is going to knock us to the side here and do some damage to us. Part of the wall got destroyed though. See all the electricity goo down there? These walls are destructible, and the electricity goo hurts a lot. So you don't want to get knocked into that. So anytime Pakiraj here does that move that's going to knock you to the side, you want to be standing near a wall. Else you risk getting knocked into the thunder goo and hurt a lot. Also, you want to try to aim the boss as much as you can, kind of down the center of the lane so that they hit the thunder goo, or like hit these walls as infrequently as possible. Ow, I shouldn't have stood near that. That was my bad. Again, twice. I shouldn't have kept standing near it. Maybe I'll stand further back this time. But this time I'll run, because that's a proximity marker. Yipes! Ow. I'm taking more damage than I should. But stand near a wall, stand near a wall, stand near a wall! There we go. Still alive. There goes another wall. Not ideal, but we've almost got it. There we go. We live. Now for the home stretch. And oh, it is a pretty one. Thou hast weathered my trial thus far, but I am not convinced. I will try thy limits. We're being supervised. Bigger and bigger dragons coming at us. Nidhogg will spare thee no clemency, and thus neither must I. It's final boss time. Everyone ready? I think that they seem all ready. Here we go. So this fight takes place on a lot of platforms, as you can see. We can step on these little rings to hop from platform to platform, and you can't really fall off of them. Come, warrior, show me what strength doth remain in thy frail mortal shell. I'll try. But yeah, these platforms can and will break, so we're gonna run out of them I'm gonna move. That hurt. I'm going to move somewhere else, where it doesn't. The sky is the domain of dragons. How wilt thou contend with such mastery? And... oh, now there's some holy sprites around, and I don't remember what they do, but I'm not gonna let them stick around so I can find out. Just gonna clear them. Because I'm worried they're gonna start shooting some projectiles at us and just making things more chaotic. So I'm gonna be helpful. With most of them. Yeah. It's a lot of ice. Thou art formidable, but canst thou endure the bitter end? Where'd you go? Uh-oh. Moving! Moving! A little nervous seeing all the ice drifting around because I don't know what that's gonna do. Oh, come and hit us. Less great. I'm gonna take some of these out. A Wyrm doth fight with both magic and might. Canst thou withstand the onslaught of spell and claw? Ah, dragon heads. Look out for that. Nope, not a place to be, not a place to be, not a place to be. Oh, there's two sprites here now. No good. Stop shooting ice everywhere, please. Or whatever it is you're doing. There we go. I've helped. I think. We've almost got the boss here. I could have sworn those platforms used to break. Maybe they don't anymore. I think it used to be if Hraesvelgr dashed across them, they broke. Correct me if I'm wrong, comments, if I'm thinking of a different fight. Whatever, we win. Yay, we did it. Thank you to the three of you. Thank you very much for joining me for this. It went very smoothly. Oh yeah, I have fireworks now. Yay. That's a thing I do. I forgot. Anyway, thank you very much for joining, all three of you. I'll probably see you again soon because there's more fights to come. But yeah, back to story, huh? Even bereft of an eye, my brood brother was a fearsome foe indeed. But having tasted thy strength firsthand, full well can I imagine how thou didst bring him low. The dread title of Azure Dragoon is no empty appellation. Very well. I shall trust in the seed of man one last time. By thy deeds shall the flickering hope that lingereth yet within my heart be kindled anew or extinguished forever.
Your trial is ended as well, then?
Mine was brutal beyond reckoning. Vedfolnir seems ill-acquainted with the notion of mock battles.
That you yet stand is ready proof of your determination, mortals. Let us fight as allies, then, and together banish my brood brother's vengeful shade. On my oath, the wrath that once was Nidhogg shall meet its end. This I swear on the memory of my beloved Shiva, and on the soul of lost Isel. Yay, we've gained a large ally. Vedfolnir cannot be faulted for effort. He is every ilm the proud warrior, or should I say, every yalm. Oh, my poor ribs. Hraesvelgr saw fit to pair me with Vidofnir, but her ferocity was such that I began to wonder if I hadn't simply imagined her injury. Yet my trial pales into insignificance next to yours. How fared you in your duel with Hraesvelgr? I take from this that your battle was rather more involved than my own. Vedfolnir seemed largely concerned with how long he could keep me rolling in the dust. Between dodging snapping fangs and slashing claws, I scarce had time to aim a blow. Had he truly meant to harm me, of course, I'd not be standing here now. Plainly, his intent was to teach. His onslaught forced me to recall my training about the speed of the dragon, his balance, his blind spots. It was, in short, a very thorough lesson. And also you were there.
Ow, 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 Kupo. Derman, let me begin by congratulating you on the completion of your trial. For one with a name more befitting a jester, you fought with the savagery of a rabid demon. Do you see how my wings are kinked? Even my palm aches. After this drubbing, I fear my loyal subjects will have to bear the load of my personal chores for quite some time, Kupo. Possibly indefinitely.
Oh dear.
What? When I told you about Derman's trial, I didn't mean for the rest of us to suffer. That's triple shifts for you, Moghan. Triple? But that's not fair. There's no justice, Kupo. Not at all.
Our negotiations proved rather more strenuous than I had anticipated, but the results seem well worth the effort.
The battle was indeed hard won. Thank you, my friends. I would never have earned Hraesvelgr's cooperation had you not seen fit to grant me yours. 'Twas your stalwart heroism that moved the heart of the great Wyrm at the last. Any gratitude I can offer is but poor reward for your continued service to Ishgard.
'Twould seem our final reckoning with the dread Wyrm is at hand. I only wish we had some inkling as to when he means to strike. Oh, gods.
The cry heraldeth his coming. Nidhogg's shade hath taken wing.
It has begun. We must away to Ishgard.
And that we shall do. But probably next time. It's been a bit long. So historically and traditionally, the third patch that follows an expansion, in this case, we're in 3.3 now, and it's the same for 4.3, 5.3. It's often kind of where the epilogue conclusion of the expansion's tale happens. So it kind of feels like we're building to a big climax here. That's pretty common, and a lot of good stuff tends to happen in them. Anyway, we will probably see that climax next time. I think we'll be wrapping up 3.3 next time if memory serves. I look forward to it, and I hope you do as well. Take care, all of you, and I will see you then for that. Goodbye.